Twinflame journey, and I have a new spread, and I'm still introducing this one. So let's see what's coming up for the 21st and this week, because we have tomorrow the new moon, and with this new moon, new things are coming ahead. It's a huge portal, and we already felt the Dark Mother, you know, Hecate. We felt Caradwin coming in, Morgan Le Fay, and all the underground deities. And it doesn't matter, they're not really dark. They are addressing your shadows, what needs to be transformed. And when you're transforming yourself and you're going into a new direction, because it's a soul growth. So what's happening? Let's see what's happening with the Divine Feminine first. And the masculine within the Divine Feminine is moving away. She said, you know, I had it, it's enough, I'm out of here. I take my bags, I take everything what I have, and I'm gone. I need to go to a different place where I can rest, where I can rejuvenate. Can also mean sometimes this is heading to a breakup or a divorce, and moving away from another, from your home, for where you was comfortable. And now when you're not comfortable anymore, you know, it goes with a heartache. You know, a heartache is uneventable here. So there is a heartache, there's heartbreak, there is a cloudiness. And remember that we're always responsible for the choices that we make. And sometimes when we see things coming ahead, or, you know, then you're already heartbroken before you leave. And that is what's happening. But when you come in contemplation with yourself and you're looking to the Hierophant, you have the knowledge, you know what you want, you know where you want to go, you know where your soul belongs, then you are taking that leap of faith. And the interesting part is the sun is in the middle. So you're leaving behind a situation that is not serving you, that is not good for you. And then the sun starts to shine again, and your spontaneity comes back, and the other things that is really important in your life, it's all coming back, because you make a transition. And every transition we make is for the better of you, because we all know you chose this route to go. And sometimes we get called for a duty, get called for a mission, and then we have to follow that call. We have to follow that calling from the universe that says, you know, there is something that you need to do, is something better. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but you have to follow through to come in that balanced way for yourself. So let's see what's going on in the side of the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine side is temperance, is in this state of balance, you know, pouring in his cups, knowing which cup he needs to fill, looking at the road of the sun. You know, he knows when I address the things in my heart space, in my soul, in my thoughts, then I'm going to this light, you know, wherever I am, even in the transformational time, in the dark time, you're going to that light, because the transformation going through, the heartache, or you address your shadows, it also opens up for the light to come in. So on the heart level, new ideas, new creativity, new things are coming your way. Really amazing what is going to happen. And you're open for everything that comes. But sometimes we're waiting for just one thing to come in. And now everything is coming at the same time to you. And then you say, oh, do I have to make a choice? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And then the universe comes in and says, you know, you can have it all. The house, the journey, the twin flame, the lover, you can have it all, because you are ready. If you combine the things that are coming your way, you know, and you do it with your passion, and you do it with your soul mission, then you are in this space. But you need to take time and rest in between, Divine Masculine. Because if you're not taking the time and the rest in between, you know, it could be that you get aches, you get headaches, you get overwhelmed. You are difficult to sleep because you are so overworked that you're not tired anymore, that your brain is going through and through and through, and that you have to go within before, you know, everything can stabilize again. I also see in this time, you know, your house, your divine counterpart is there. It's celebrating. It's the union that is stabilized. So really, really, really amazing. What is for the divine, let me see, the divine feminine, what is her masculine side saying within herself? Get in balance. You need to get in balance, divine feminine. Your masculine and your feminine side needs to get in balance. Otherwise, it's not working. You know, it's not working the right way for you, because then the waves are getting too high, the emotions getting too high, your occupation in your mind is getting too high, and you're getting disturbance in your system. And that's in your heart space, a hard thing to carry, divine feminine. It's probably that you need ask your masculine, you know, if he or your feminine or your masculine, that it's a hard load to carry for you at the moment. And it's all because of that, you know, of that heartache. Too much in the mind, too much in in the mind, and you start to wonder and to think about everything, and you want to get out of that place, but you need to go through the emotions. Your subconscious mind said address the emotions, because you're living over your emotions, divine feminine. And that's what the masculine within the divine feminine says, because when you are in that space that you are not wanting to feel, or you feel too much, you know, because of the heartache, because of the leaving of the feminine or the masculine, and it's all happening within yourself. So if you leave your divine masculine in the cold within yourself, not without yourself, could be without yourself, could be within yourself, don't let your divine masculine standing in the cold, because you are one, and you need to support the divine masculine so the divine masculine can support the divine feminine. So that's for the divine feminine. And let the emotions out, divine feminine, you know, because I think and I feel it's still a long way to go. You still have a long way to go to solve this. And it's so interesting. We choose this road, you know. It's not that somebody else gave us the heartache or somebody else made us do this. No, we chose that route. We chose our partners. We chose that road we are walking. And that's the whole situation at the moment. And that's what I see here with the Divine Feminine, actually blaming the Divine Masculine for leaving. Well, it was already a soul choice. It was already a soul choice. So don't go there, you know. Forgive your Divine Masculine outside of yourself, and know this all needed to be to have your soul growth. And I see the soul growth coming in, and I see the sun returning in your life. But it will take a while before you're there. You know, it takes a while. You know, you're not getting over a heartbreak like this. And if you're in a soul tie, or you have a soul contract with someone, you know, it's even more difficult to let go. And but in some cases I see the Divine Masculine return, because you know they have to walk their journey, they have to walk their soul path. And that's what the Divine Feminine needs to understand. He has to walk his journey. I have a feeling he got a call from the Divine to say, you know, you have a duty to do. You need to do something what you always needed to do. And I have a feeling that the Divine Masculine was more on the background at the moment and was not fulfilling his journey. There was no space for his journey. So that gave him that feeling of lack. You know, the Divine Feminine within the Divine Masculine felt this coldness, felt this lack, not able to be able to do his journey, to do his calling, I hear. And he was just sitting there, sitting in his heart space and waiting for his time, you know, because I see he couldn't leave the Divine Feminine right away. He couldn't leave her. She needed to be stable before he could think about himself. So in everything he did, he was just thinking about her, you know. If you are okay, if you are ready, you know, then it's my time. And I know that time is coming, and he is being called to do his work, and it's his time at the moment. So it's also a time of saving, you know, saving his energy, saving his space. It's almost like the sacrifice for the feminine. Do you remember? That's, yeah, the sacrifice for the Divine Feminine. I hear, because you needed to go your own way. And we worked on your way, and now it's time for me to go on my way. So really amazing. And then for the Divine Masculine, he is working on his own pentacles. He is working on the money he wants to earn, to feel himself in that energy, that he can be the man, you know, and give her this house, give her what she needs. And that's imbalance. That's what the Divine Masculine, it doesn't mean the Divine Masculine has nothing from this heartbreak, you know, because this is on both sides, but he needs to feel that he is worthy, that he is in this space, that he can mean something for humanity. And that's what I see going on here. And he wants this life with you, Divine Feminine. But he needs to start that journey on his own first. So the Divine Masculine, you know, he has it all. He is stabilized. He's stable in his heart space. He knows that things needs to change, and that is in balance at the moment. So Divine Masculine had a lack of connection, and when the connection is not there with Source, where, you know, inside the church there is that light, inside that church is the light, inside is that energy of enlightenment, and he lacks of it. And that's why he needs that journey to find his soul back, to find his soul journey back. And that is called by the universe to get his soul journey back, but also his mission. And that's what is happening at the moment. So in this space, he finds new ways of seeing things, activating new people on his path. The sun is shining, and he needed rest. It was almost like the Divine Masculine didn't have enough rest. And that's also with the Divine Masculine within the Feminine. He don't get enough rest. And the Feminine within the Divine Masculine is totally in balance, unstable. And that's why, you know, that sun can shine for Divine Masculine. So it's really, really interesting. Let's see what, if I can bring a clarification of the leaving. What is the leaving? Is it the separation? Is it moving towards something else? Where is he moving towards to? Ooh. That's it. He doesn't get enough rest because she's awake a lot. So this is for the Divine Feminine on the card of leaving. So the mind is occupied, bad dreams, sleep, not enough sleep, you know, maybe nightmares, staying up at night, getting haunted, I hear. She's haunted by the Divine Masculine. So in her dreams, in her sleep, so there is not enough sleep, and that really can bring you in a very low vibration, you know. As soon as possible, Divine Feminine, you have to come back in balance in your mind space. In the heart space is the star. You put your Divine Masculine on a pedestal, and you saw him as the light of your life, and you didn't take care of yourself in that moment. You gave it all away. You gave it all away, Divine Feminine. And that is so hard to carry, you know, because you gave a lot, and it's not in that space that it's been returned to you. There was an hope, and that's always what I see, the card of the star as the hope of better times, the hope that it will be better next time. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better because the divine feminine wasn't in balance with her divine masculine within herself. And if they're not in balance, you know, things will become chaotic. You're not grounded, you're going off, psychosis are coming in, entities are coming in. When you're not getting enough rest, no, don't go there. And you need to, you want to bring back your spirituality, but I see it's, your spirit guides are with you and are protecting you, but you're not in the, it's not grounded because of the leaving. Wow. And you're focused too much on what is left behind instead of what is behind you. You know, look around what you still have, you know, on that emotional stage of the masculine within the divine feminine, is really looking back at, and I feel so much anger and frustration, and I want to have what you have, and why isn't it possible that I don't have what you have? And that's going between the divine feminine and the masculine within the divine feminine herself. So instead of contemplating, meditating, going into nature, you know, it's just, what is it that I can't have this? Why can't I have this? That's what I hear constantly in my mind. And I think you have to let it go, and it's a long journey. It's a journey that takes a while. But you know, if you carry that burden, if you carry that load and you go through it all by yourself, I can tell you out of experience, if you go through it all by yourself, there's nothing and nobody you need in your life after that. Because you entered the most dark times in your life and you went it through all by yourself. So when you go through that, there's nobody else that can sweep you off your feet, that can bring you down, that can take your energy, that can take you off your path, off your mission. You know, you become, I hear you become soul strong. Soul strong. Need so strong, soul strong. And when your soul is that strong, you know, there's nothing on this planet that can hold you back. No fear, no drama, no nothing. You know, you're stable. And you're still in balance between your masculine and your feminine. And I see that it's time to go there. It's time to balance this out for the divine feminine. Bring out the moon and the emotions, I hear. Yeah, if you bring out the moon and the sun, after that, you have the world, you have the world card with you. Then you can show yourself who you are, not afraid for other people how they perceive you. You say, just fuck it. I don't care what other people say about me. You know, they can see me as this, they can see me as that, but I'm content with who I am and I'm walking that path, if you like it or not. So there is so much strength you can get out of this situation. There is so much beauty in that situation. But you never see that when you're in it. You only see it when you're out of it. And then and the universe will show you little rewards here and there, you know. But you chose this path. It's not a blame game from the divine feminine towards the divine masculine, that the masculine is this and this and this and this and this. No, it's not. That's how he is, you know. And most of the time, when you meet a man, the way he is, most men don't change. You know, most men don't change. Because they have in that stadium that they want to be held, that they want to be nurtured, that they want to be in that same space of comfortability, because there is also many uncomfortability outside in the workplace. He needs to be shown up there. And after that he don't want to have that all the drama, all these things around him. He just wants a safe space to come home, eat, sleep, and go back to work again. That's his comfort zone. So if you are creating drama, or the divine masculine is creating drama in his life, you know, he needs that space where he can come home. And I see the divine masculine is more in his divine masculine and feminine. In the masculine are way more in balance. Way more in balance than the divine feminine is. You feel also the anger behind everything, you know, the anger, but the anger is comes forth out of grief, comes forth out of hurt. The wounds are open, the heart is broken. And you can take that in consideration. Wow. Yeah, the burden, that is being carried, because it was the love of her life. We're the lovers, the love of your life, and then it's gone like that. And it takes a while to overcome it. But the more you connect with your spirit guides, with your path that you need to walk, not think about, oh my gosh, I lost it all, you know, and it's for the greater good of all, because the universe is calling you. They know you have a gift, and with that gift you have to work with the universe, and the universe will show you little by little more things that you need to work on, you know, and be grateful of, because it's a situation to be grateful for, you know. You don't, maybe you don't see it in the beginning because of the heart is hurt, you know, or the ego is hurt. You can say it on both sides, you know. But lay back the burden and transform how you see it. You know, I had the love of my life, but you can also see it like, okay, I had this love in my life, instead of I will never get that love back in my life. No, it's about, you know, this energy is about you can better loved once in your life than nothing at all. So that's really this path. So yeah, the divine feminine within the feminine is hoping, you know, that the divine masculine will return. Know that you have to get back on track, I hear. Back on track with your intuition, back on track with your talents, I hear. Focus on you, focus on the new things that you need to do. You saw it already coming up. You saw it, you knew it already. You know, you knew it already months ago. that this would happen, because you felt that the universe was pulling you different directions. And that's no harm done, because you both need to grow. I always say, we're not here to play house, you know. Maybe your first phase of your life, that most of the time that's karma, karma related. But you were together to get the children, to put this energy into this world, just to receive the children that need to be in your life, you know, even if it's energetic, you know. So get yourself back in balance. What's holding the divine feminine back to get back in balance? The king. And that's difficult, because if you call him and he is not replying to you, then let him go. Let him go for a while, doing his own thing. You know, he needs that space. He needs that rest. He needs that rest. So let him go. Don't get into his space now, you know, because it's too much also for him, because he also feels that cold, you know, that coldness, that loss. It's not just that the divine feminine has only those feelings. The feminine has more emotions in that case, and the divine masculine is more doing it on the rational way. But this is really what is going on. You know, she can't get that quick imbalance because it's her king. He's everything for her. So yeah, let it go. So let's see what we can do for the divine masculine. What is coming up for the divine masculine? The Tower. Yeah, it's the same for the divine masculine. Leaving, her leaving or him leaving, brought back the Tower. And the Tower is always a sign of, I need to go, something needs to be changed. Something radical needs to happen for this whole situation to change. And divine feminine within the divine masculine knows this. She has this knowledge. If something needs to change, there must be chaos first, before the balance and the rest comes back in again, and the soul growth is there, and people have that knowledge that something needs to change, that we can't repeat the same mistakes again and again and again and again, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. That needs to change, because it creates chaos. And chaos in somebody's life, and if there's chaos in the divine masculine or feminine in the masculine, then there is no safety. You know, if there's no safety, then the divine feminine is getting totally out of balance and in chaos and in doubt and questioning everything what the divine masculine says or do. So yeah, she is like, okay, I'm balancing everything out within myself. And that's what the divine feminine within the divine masculine does. She said, okay, I'm holding these two cups. I'm giving water to both of them, you know, and I'm here. I'm being balanced. I'm being cared for by the universe. And whatever you do, I don't let it be influenced my side of life, okay? And the divine feminine also within the divine masculine says, you know, this is really amazing what is happening, and there is chaos in your life, and there is this tower in your life, but it's the choice you make, and I can't change that. So there is compassion, there is love, there is stability for the divine masculine in his life. So let's see, what else does the divine masculine need? Divine feminine. You know, he needs the divine feminine in his life. Stable, not being dramatic about everything, not blowing things out of proportion, not the envy and the jealousy and that craziness, what's all about, you know. She says, okay, I see it, you know, you made a choice. Get in that stabilized energy. You were always there, you know, you were always there. So don't, divine masculine or divine feminine within the divine masculine doesn't make a big deal out of it, you know. But she says, you know, it's your divine feminine, it's your journey, it's not my journey. Yeah, traveling, going away, and that's what the divine masculine needed. He needed to get out of this place. His work is also abroad, I hear. You know, activating places, working with other energies. And I feel the divine masculine is really strong in his core. Really strong in his core. Know exactly where he's heading, know exactly what he wants to build for himself, what is needed from him, what he needs to do. I'm already purging everything, and he needs that time to rest and rejuvenate. You never know when this is you know, turning around. Yeah, the end. Death and rebirth. So it has to do with the soul transformation, the soul growth, the yearning of the soul that needs to have more than what is going on now. I hear he was disappointed in the journey together. He thought, we are going to do this together, this journey together, to find out that he was just supporting the divine feminine and giving and giving and giving and giving and not getting anything in return. So the divine masculine said, okay, you know, I have to go my own way. And divine masculine, it's really good for you to go your own way and to travel and to do the things, you know. And I see he wants to travel towards the divine feminine, but he's not able to yet. It's not the right time yet. You know, he wants to meet his queen, and there is a time of separation needed here. But I see after this, the sun will come out for him. You know, the sun will shine again, new projects, new ideas. I also hear divine masculine within the divine feminine needs to look at his karma, needs to look, oh my God, why is this kind of behavior repeating itself again and again and again? Because the divine masculine within the divine feminine isn't healed. Not at all. Divine feminine is in the masculine energy continuously. You know, she is not moving to her feminine energy. She's still in the warrior mode. And then you're getting out of balance. So yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone. And go and heal yourself and go back in balance. You know, it's not easy for the divine masculine within the divine feminine. It's going through a rough journey. Divine feminine is going through a rough journey in the it's just the mind of the divine feminine within the masculine energy that is, you know, needs to stabilize. I hope you can all you know, follow it, because we all have a divine masculine and a divine feminine within ourselves. And if that's not in balance, and the divine feminine feels themselves out of balance, and you know, then it also will do the same in outer world, you know, so within, so without. So if the divine feminine is in a fighting energy or in a warrior energy, and doesn't see that unity that is needed in this world, then everything goes up and down, and then it reflects to the outside world. And then, you know, it could be that the masculine says, okay, I'm calling in the tower, it's enough, you know, it's enough. Wow, what a reading. I'm going to call in the cards. I'm calling in Oshun. Oshun. For the divine masculine, what has Oshun to tell the divine masculine? What will be supported in his life? Oshun of the soil. Grounding, stability, and nurturing. Wow, that's beautiful, divine masculine. Because that's exactly how the divine masculine feels. You know, he is grounding, he's stable, and he is nurturing. You know, and maybe he needs that nurturing at the moment, you know, that nurturing of, maybe not even of the divine feminine, but maybe his own divine feminine within needs support, you know. Then go and ground yourself. Look for ways to stabilize yourself. Maybe you need rest. Maybe you overdid too much. Maybe you had too many losses already, you know, in your life, that you say, okay, I need to find a way to deal with this. I need to find a way how to balancing it out. But I made that choice. I made this journey. I made this, you know, my soul choice. You need to figure out for yourself, was it a soul choice or was it your mind? That's what comes through. Was it a soul choice or was it your mind that gets the tower in? The soul choice is always from the light. It's always choosing light. So ground yourself, go into nature, you know, be on your own, you know, go through those wounds, balance yourself out, get yourself in your spirit, back on your spiritual track, I hear. Get yourself back on your spiritual track. Reach for the light, even if we're going through the dark now. And this is exactly what belongs to this time of the year. endings, new beginnings, death, rebirth, transformation of the soul, transformation of your life. Things needs to go upside down before it becomes whole again. And maybe, you know, maybe you want to come back together again. And sometimes that's not the case, because if one soul grows faster than the other one, then there is almost no equality, you know. One soul is here, the other is there, and then you get that disbalance. But it doesn't mean that it isn't possible. Doesn't mean it isn't possible. If your worlds are still in one alignment, on one line, then it's possible. Otherwise, most of the time I don't see it. If one is not spiritual growing and the other one is just stuck on another level, you know, it's not going to happen. Because the soul and the higher soul doesn't allow that. The universe doesn't allow that to go back in toxicity. Anger. Ocean of divine wrath. Wow. There's anger, resentment, and vengeance in the divine feminine. Wow. 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 That's a card that is that I say, wow, the divine feminine wants to have vengeance. And there is this wrath and this resentment and there's anger and there's frustration. And, you know, this card says it all, you know, how the divine feminine feels. So there is so much anger and frustration. And I hear just because she can't control herself. You know, this is a way that is mentally unstable. It's not healthy either. You know, if you look at that, breaking the chains, breaking the cords, breaking through everything, you know, out of control. This is what I see with the divine feminine, you know, because of this, the out of control energy, screaming, you know, throwing, you know, it's all out of proportion. It has nothing to do with the hurt anymore. It's just that she is really having a wrath towards the divine masculine. And that's the first thing that she needs to do, is getting her divine masculine in balance, or her divine feminine in balance. Because the masculine within the divine feminine is like, wow, I'm so angry with you. You know, I want to let you feel how I feel. And, you know, we all did this. We all had that energy. We all have that energy within us. So, get yourself in balance, divine feminine. And if you can't get it in balance, look for someone to heal you. Go talk to someone, go, you know, or get a consultation or whatever. But don't keep this energy with you, because it's dangerous for you. It's not dangerous for the other person. It's not dangerous for the divine masculine. it's dangerous for you, you know. Divine masculine, the Oshun, the creatrix. His creativity is coming back, artistic expression, and he experienced breakthroughs. So I feel the divine masculine is breaking through all the things that he held back, and now this breakthrough is for him, you know. Being in this energy of nurturing. I also feel that the divine masculine get that nurturing from the divine feminine outside of himself, you know. Maybe he looks for comfort with somebody else because he's talking to someone, following his path, helping and nurturing other people, so he doesn't have to feel or to think about what he needs. It's like when you're in a situation like this, serving others is more healing, and at the same time you can heal yourself in the process. And then you find out that your problem is not such a big problem anyway, you know, anyway, because there are more bigger things that needs that attention. And that is also leveling up for your soul. Because if you're still in that pity mode, in crying, in, you know, and you're not taking any action, then you're getting stuck, and the anger starts to build and build and build and build and build. Let's see, divine feminine, what can you do about it? Seduction. Wow. So the divine feminine, Oshun of seduction. She says, well, don't go in that space, you know? Sexuality, attraction, feminine power. Don't use your feminine power to get your divine masculine in with seduction, with sexuality. You know, that's the worst thing you can do. You just can, you know, or make your divine masculine jealous because you're going to someone else, or to search relief, or to take vengeance, or anything like that. That's a no-go, you know. That's a no-go. So do it on your own. And we all know that when you're in pain and you don't have the knowledge, and you don't have the journey that you need to go because you don't see it yet, you know, leave it, let it be, let it be, let it be. Don't take revenge on your divine masculine. No, we're not doing that. It's just heal yourself, divine feminine, heal yourself. Because your heart is broken and you're going through a turmoil, and there is a destruction going on, a destruction of who you thought you were, because it's an ending, and out of that a transformation is coming, and a new you is coming in, and that is not the same. You will be 10 times better than you are now. Just believe me. And if you need reading, or you need support, or you need guidance, or you need healing, you know, in the description box below, there's my email address. And Yeah, contact me if you need support or help. All the love, all the blessings. I wish the Divine Feminine so much strength. I need the Divine Masculine so much strength. All the love, all the blessings. Bye-bye.